All right, here we go. Here we go. Welcome back, Samboners. Another episode of the Samboners Show. We're coming to you live, a rare evening episode, a very special holiday episode of the Samboners Show. As always, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Colin Thompson, and some real special guests. Well, right now we have one special guest with us, the original Samboner, Mr. Drew Dow, a.k.a. Italian Beef, a.k.a. you put mayo on your Italian hoagie, I'm going to beat your ass. Drew Dow is in the house tonight. Welcome, Drew.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
And our other guest is surprisingly not here yet. We had a 9 p.m. start time. It's about 9:20 Eastern time, and our boy Kev, a.k.a. Fried Uns, has yet to show up. What are you going to do? Fried Uns will be here, South Carolina Pride. And let's just get started. You know, I had some things to shoot out. Maybe I'll have to wait till Kev gets here.
Maybe he's living on Southern time.
Yeah, Southern time. You think he's in Central time? I mean, I'm in North Carolina. He's not that far from me. Last time I checked, we are still in Eastern time. But we got to start with this, Drew. I am a light mayo on an Italian hoagie guy. Not a ridiculous amount. I just want, like I tell Mick, dip into it and run along it. That's it. Not the slathering. So I like it. I think it creates with the olive oil, with the vinegar, with the peppers, with the onions. If you get the pepper kind of relish vibe from Lee's
all day long.
I like the pepper relish, but every condiment belongs on certain sandwiches, like hot mustard, hot dog, and a ham and cheese, mayo, turkey, and Italian oil and vinegar. Like, things just belong together. And it's like, you know, it's like wearing a vest, putting mayo on an Italian. I hate them both.
I'll be honest with you, I'm completely out on the vest too. Mick wears that vest. It just screams.
You know, I almost wore my vest tonight. You're not a vest guy, Colin?
I'm absolutely not, and you'll never find me be a vest guy.
Vest is hot right now.
Light mayo on the Italian hoagie because I hate vests more.
So you like mayo, though.
So now I like you a little bit more, Colin, so far.
We are all actually Archbishop Wood graduates on here, which is super cool. Crazy. Our media company is actually full of them, which is great. Jack it was in the back here. He's a Happer Horsham guy, but he's an adopted Archbishop Wood guy. But yeah, I love the light mayo. So you don't even cross over. So you like mayo. You just won't put an Italian hoagie.
Yes, yeah. It belongs on like turkey, tuna fish. You know, make it with your chicken salad. It's got its place in the sandwich.
Have you ever had it on an Italian hoagie?
Italian hoagie.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah, and I bite in, and right away I'm like, God damn it! Who put mayo on this thing at like a party? You're getting off the hoagie tray that's sitting in the corner for like hours in the sun, and I walk over, grab it, and I'm like, damn it! Who put mayo on an Italian? You're not. Drew, I'm not ready for it. You know,
Drew. I'm an Italian hoagie guy. Like, my order is a half a cheesesteak, a half Italian hoagie. That's my Samboner order. So I don't crush a full cheesesteak and a full Italian hoagie. That's how
Joey Mayo's chiming in real quick. Mayo and oil on an Italian is the greatest combo in the history of food, next to salt and pepper.
Now you need vinegar in there, Joey Mayo. You need vinegar in that situation. Yeah. There has to be vinegar on the Italian hoagie, or it's out of it. Look who, but we're not even going to have him in. We're not going to invite Kevin. He's going to sit in the back and time out for a second, because I'm going to ask Drew this. Drew, you're an Italian hoagie guy. It seems like you're talking about it. Where do you like to get an Italian hoagie from? Like, between here, the shore, like, where's your spot that you like love it?
So if I'm really craving one, there's good ones down the city. I work all over, but I'm Bucks County by my house. I go to Lee's and I go oil, vinegar, lettuce, tomato, pickle, the hot pepper relish, and like a bag of salt and vinegar chips, and I'm money. You know what I mean?
Where's the best though? Where's your favorite one?
Okay, of all time.
I thought you were gonna say Altamonte's, dude.
Nah, man. I like that place down in the city, the little Italian market.
Reading.
Nah. It begins with a D. It's on like Chestnut. Why can't I think of it right now?
Oh my God, it happens. We get these brain farts on here.
Yeah, I see. I've ate so many Italian hoagies the last 7 years.
The Bruno brothers. The Bruno brothers.
The Bruno brothers. I know the answer. It's the spicy Italian.
Who is?
Look,
boys. Sorry. Hi.
Yeah. What's up, Fried Uns?
Better late than never, like usual.
I was going to start the show off by asking you both if an Angelo's Pizzeria opened up 40 yards from you, who would win in that 40-yard dash to take the first bite. But Drew got the win already. You're dragging.
We know what the real answer is, but that's all right. Drew won't race me. Yeah, he hasn't raced me since we were 7.
I don't have to race you.
Last time he lost.
Oh, this guy. He hasn't beat me in a race in like 20 years. He always picks like the most opportune time. It's like rainy. We've been drinking all day, and he's like, "Let's race," and I'm like, "Ain't happening."
Hold on, what's going on over here, Friday? What, did you fucking pull these palm trees in just to rub it in? Like, are these indoor palm trees?
I brought dude. It's cold down here.
It is cold.
We got a little freeze coming in, so I had to pull them in.
What's a freeze? 55, 60?
No, it's real cold down here, Mick. We're talking 20s in the morning.
Yeah. What? I mean, right now it's probably 46 or something, so it's not that cold. But 2 days from now, it's going to be like 22 degrees.
We're about to have the coldest game in Carolina. We're going to have a coldest game in Carolina Panthers history on Sunday.
Really?
Who do you got this week?
We have Detroit, who's like really rolling, man. They're
6-1
in their last 7. So, yeah, we got to win the rest, and we're in. So it's pretty crazy. But
absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's 38 here right now in Charlotte. I mean, it's cold, man. We were practicing outside today. Boys were bundled up. So, but I mean, I think it's important, Mick. Like, we talk about family on the show, talk about friends on the show. Introduce Kev, introduce Drew, which you kind of already have, but like the relationship, how do you guys know each other? You guys have been close for so long now.
Yeah, no, I mean, this goes way back, 7, 8 years old. We started to all, meet one another. In addition to Drew's brother, Mike, my brother, Joe, and then, Pat, who is the ultimate Slowski. He would have probably showed up at like 9:35 for this show. And, we all started to play Little League football together at a young age. And Joe was kind of like our older brother. And the 6 of us have always been in contact. We always spend a lot of time at my dad's house over the weekend, Kev's house, Drew's dad's house. I mean, this was just like, the times now versus the times, back when we were young, it's just night and day. I mean, we would fucking get away with murder, riding our bikes into the, Warminster Hood, Southampton Hood, all through the youth center. We just dominated the youth center growing up as kids and playing a lot of Little League football, winning state championships. And like I said before, man, if we weren't playing football or we weren't hanging out the courtyard, we were samboning at Taco Bell all the time. All the time.
Tormenting the neighbors with Eagles chants through their front yard.
I think Mick still does that.
Long history to Samboners.
I love it, man. I'll navigate it from here. I think it's all really good stuff. There's a lot of ways we can go. We have 4 people on here, so appreciate everybody dealing with us here on listening. Whether you can tune in on YouTube, our shows are on Not For Long Media YouTube page. Check out the Samboners on Instagram. For those listening for the first time to this episode, you're in for a treat. There's a lot to debrief on this one. Kev, let's go to you. It's the holiday season. Christmas is upon us. New Year's is upon us. Thanksgiving just came in wet. What's the food vibe? What's the holiday vibe with all the transplants down there in South Carolina?
Dude, it's an interesting dynamic down here because there's not a lot of people from here, right? But all the food is pretty representative of South Carolina. So it's fried chicken, it's barbecue, it's seafood. Dude, I went out to a restaurant this weekend, thought we were getting a nice meal, and it turns out it was a really nice place, expensive as shit, but I got a fried chicken sandwich. It was delicious.
Because you're
it's sausage and gravy and shrimp and grits, and that's what you're eating. There is not a hoagie in sight, and that's it really puts a damper on my Sambone game. But food's amazing. Trust me, these guys think I'm skinny because I'm not Sambone and I'm fat as shit. I just don't eat hoagies. There's no hoagies. There's not a lot of good stuff to Sambone. But
in the Northeast, there's a lot of like. You're drinking, absolutely.
Yo, Colin, can I throw that real?
I'm going to say about some bourbon and stogies to get this going.
Light the stogie, please, while you're doing this. This is tremendous. But go ahead, Mick.
Are you a shrimp and grits guy?
Absolutely. What is that even a question? I'm a huge grits guy for a fact. I love shrimp. I mean, these grits down here are just ridiculous. My mother.
What's the deal? I mean, why are the grits down south better than the grits here up?
They're not. They could be made the same. It's just. who's making it, right? Like who, because the thing about grits is like, it's not like up at home where you're like, I need this water to make this bagel or this bread or this hoagie roll. With grits, you have the same amount of ingredients. It's like, but you know how to make them the right way. That's the question. And people don't mass produce them the correct way in the Northeast. That's just a fact. So if you find a place, do it.
I compare it to pasta down south, right? Nobody makes good Italian down here, but I think it's because there's not a lot of Italians down here, right?
That's it.
But
yep.
But the grits are off the charts. Yep. I'm gonna get a little snip and get in here.
I love it. Now, Drew, we'll transition to Drew here. You're, in the heart of Christmas Wonderland there, and Bucks in Montgomery County, and just a great place where I grew up. Mick grew up. Everyone grew up listening to the show for the most part. It seems like. What's the food vibe for you guys in the holiday season moving forward? Are you getting like food throughout the week? Is this like, everything's circled for Christmas Eve dinner? Kind of take us into your family and how they do food through the holidays.
So this year we're going to my mother-in-law's. She's a British woman, grew up above a Jewish deli in England, right? And so she kills it. She has some good recipes. And then Christmas Eve, we finalized that I'm going to make my grandmother's gravy. I know. Go ahead, beat me up. Not sauce, gravy. All right. We call it gravy here as Italian Northeast people. It's gravy. All right. So I'm going to do a pot of gravy, and that's probably going to start Christmas Eve. I'll probably start at like 8 o'clock. We're going to go food shopping probably tomorrow, and then I'll forget stuff. So I'll have to run out on Friday to get the rest of the stuff. And I'm going to make my grandmother's big pot of gravy with meatballs, Italian sausage, shredded pork in the gravy. That's why it's gravy, because mine's cooked with meat the whole time.
I never really understood all that, like the gravy, the sauce. Like, what's the big dispute there? I don't get it.
So, like a sauce, I always think of sauce like pizza sauce. Like it's just like made cold and mixed together, and then you put it on a pizza. Whereas gravy is like cooked on a stove for like 10 hours. Like I worked in pizza restaurants and bars growing up, and like a pizza sauce is just like what they put together. They put a bunch of like different cold tomatoes with sugar and garlic and stuff, mix it up, and then they keep it cold. And then how they put it on the pizza. That's sauce, like marinara sauce. Like you're not cooking it with meat the whole time. So if you cook gravy right on turkey, you're cooking it the whole time, that stock from the gravy, and that's kind of, I guess, how.
But what are we putting on turkey and mashed potatoes?
You're cooking that gravy with the meat, if you're doing like a brisket or
brown gravy and red gravy. I'm lost.
Mick, Italians
because you're Irish. Because you're Irish. You're lost because you're Irish, Mick. All right. You guys, you have nothing to bring to the table food-wise. You're Irish people. What am I gonna have? Some cabbage. Take your
Mick. What are you doing for holidays in your house, brother?
Oh man, tradition-wise, we go to my dad's on Christmas Eve, and then my wife and I host here on Christmas. And my wife's family, it's nothing but a feeding frenzy. I mean, I just opened the fridge actually before we started the show, and I counted 16 sticks of butter that'll be going into all these different dishes throughout the holidays. I mean, I can't imagine how much butter we went through in Thanksgiving. But nah, man, it's a lot of fun. We go to my dad's house. We get after it. He's had the traditional Christmas Eve party for years and years. And then my wife and I took over Christmas here, and we just get after it. We'll sit around, drink, watch the games. Actually, this year we get to watch some NFL games because it falls on a Sunday. But nah, man, nothing too fancy. Just a ton of food, ton of booze, ton of fun, good music. Just have some fun, man.
And then they all come over on New Year's Eve to my house, and we have a big Samboner party.
There you go.
So Colin, if you're in town, Colin, you're more than welcome to stop over to D-Town.
Drew, I hope I'm working, man. I appreciate it, though. What do you got, Kev?
Holidays in the McKenzie household are full-blown shit shows. So we grew up going to Christmas Eve. We go to church at Our Lady of Good Counsel in Southampton, Christmas Eve, and then head over to Mick's dad's house and go there. And there was usually something in the area of 40 bottles of Beaujolais set up on the table, and they would get destroyed every night, every single Christmas Eve. This was Thanksgiving also, but
yeah,
it's a it's quite an event.
Why the Irish don't know how to cook? You know what I mean? Because you're too drunk to cook.
Kev, what are you guys eating in your house on the holidays?
You know what? I'm not like a big traditionalist when it comes to Christmas. Thanksgiving, I care, right? It's like it's got to be turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, right? Christmas, you know, we'll cook a ham, but I don't know. We'll probably get some lasagna going. We'll probably get some pasta going. Do a bunch of appies. You know, I don't care that much as the eating isn't a big deal for me in Christmas as much as it is for Thanksgiving. So
okay, more the drinking.
We'll get after it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll wake up, drink a screwdriver, and get it
the day goes. Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, it's really interesting in my house because my mom, you know, she works on Christmas Eve all the way up until the last second because she's selling lingerie, pajamas, intimate apparel, Uggs, robes, you know, up in Peddler's Village, right in the heart of it. She's had a store there for 35 years almost. So, you know, that was like, you know, she would be there till 5, do the last wrapping and Christmas shopping for the, you know, men that are running out for their ladies and for the wives buying robes and slippers for their husbands and all that. So, you know, for me, like we would do, my tradition was, as a kid, and I miss it dearly, man. I miss home. It's you know, we live in Maryland now, which is awesome, and it's kind of my family, my wife and I's future. But my family, you know, was so around my mom's work, so we would get, you know, the house ready for the holidays. We'd always have people over on Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve was like my dad, my uncles, all my friends, like all my dad's friends, all my buddies that were back in town for the holidays, and we'd all meet at the local pub. It was all about the local pub. They've changed over the years.
Which local pub was that?
Honestly, the local watering hole in the Doylestown, Drew may know this, is actually the Plumsteadville pub now.
Yeah. Play softball against those guys.
Yeah, Butch. So Butch is the owner. He went to Wood. And shout out to Chris Boyle, one of the dear friends of mine from Doylestown, just passed away, local at the pub. But yeah, so you know, we would go there and we would buy everybody, you know, I just remember like everyone's buying each other rounds of drinks, and some guys that we know that live right across the street, but only one day a year they're allowed to come out. So they're out there Christmas Eve, just getting tuned up, having a great time. Like that's how I grew up. I kind of was always telling Mick, I grew up like on a bar stool with my dad, because on Saturdays, my mom would be working, my dad worked all week, and my dad would be like, hey, bud, and it sounds bad, but it's like, it's true. My dad's like, hey, you want to grab lunch? We going to Mesquite Grill. We going to the Cactus Grill. We going to, you know, the Gardenville Inn. Like, where are we going to grab a bite to eat? Dad would have to tell the buddies he's going there, and we'd have food. So the same thing happened Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, and we go there and like everyone do like a toast and a shot, and that was kind of it was kind of like New Year's really. And then everyone would go home, and we would come home, and my dad and uncle, who had been like having a good time all day, would cook dinner, you know, because my mom and my aunt would get home from work, and we'd have the, you know, kind of the grandmoms and all that over, and then get up Christmas Day, and then the whole family would always come over to the house. And really for my mom, it was like deep breath, because it was always the holiday season, you know, huge in Peddler's Village, just chaos. She would always get like sick the week after because she's just so worn down. So
I might head out to the Plumsteadville and drop a little Sambone over the holidays.
You got to, man. They're freaking fresh cut fries, or they got, I told you, they got the Spud Crusher right over the. Right
that's the spot. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Butch does a great job there. He's a Wood grad too, man. And yeah, it's a good spot, man. It's a great spot. So yeah. That's kind of my tradition. And we do like, I love Italian food, right? So like, and my mom's side's all Italian. My great grandmother, she just passed. She was 102. You know, she's Italian as they get. She married a man off the boat. That's kind of how our family started in Philly. So, yeah, long story short, man.
The mayo on the Italian hoagie. That's what I have a question for. Yeah, what did she say to you?
She said,
"You want these?" My grandma would.
She would say, "You can do whatever your heart desires. You need the mayo. You're a big boy. You're a Dramoon. You need to put on some weight."
By the way, I came in a little late, and I apologize for that. But I'm pretty sure as I walked in, Drew was trying to say that the Bruno Brothers is one of his favorite Italian hoagies. The spicy Italian at the Bruno Brothers comes with a spicy mayo on it.
There you go.
You don't have to ask for it. It just comes with it. Automatic.
Yeah, we're talking classic Italian. We're not talking special.
I'm saying maybe the Bruno Brothers doesn't either, Drew.
Drew,
That's a spin.
I'm going to do everything in my power, Drew, to turn you over to this side because I don't understand it. A man that enjoys the flavors of this world, a true Samboner. You're in Doylestown. You're literally in my opinion, the capital of Samboning. And it's not the number one place, but in Bucks County, you're in the heart of it.
Oh, there's some great places.
Hold on, guys. I got to clear the air real quick. This is like episode 6 or 7 at this point. Colin, the only 2 destinations in the entire country are Doylestown and Cape May. So just want to throw that out there for you.
I also lived everywhere across the entire country playing football. My point is Cape May, and I'll go back. It's the only year-round shore town. You should show up in Memorial Day weekend. So that's great. And then you leave and you pack up your Labor Day to Memorial Day, and we have a tailgate party to wave goodbye to everybody.
Listen, how aren't you a Shooby though? Because realistically, a Shooby.
I have a house there. I live down there. I live there.
You have to be born down there. You're still a transplant Shooby though.
Tell him,
I live there. I literally live there year round. Now I don't anymore. We moved out. We still have our house there. So I live there in January, February, and March. You live those 3 months, you are not a Shooby.
But if you have a kid down there and that's your house and you raise them down there at high school and everything, then they're not a Shooby. Correct. If you come transplanting, you're still a Shooby.
Agreed.
No, that's fine. You're another version. You guys are tourists. I'll be a Shooby.
I'm with you. These guys don't know what they're talking about.
I'll be a Shooby, and you guys can be tourists. That's fine. I'll say this. I'm not saying Mick gets on me because I know what I know. But I'm just saying I've samboned all over the place in Bucks County, Montgomery County. And in Bucks County, I think it's safe to say that the capital of the samboning, the center part of all the samboning, is in Doylestown.
No, Colin. Oh, my God. You got a lot to learn. How
many restaurants and bars are in that town?
Mosquito Grill, one of the best wing places, right? And then you got, Coaches.
It's not even the point. Honestly, though, it's more the fact that there's restaurants and bars everywhere. What else in Bucks County has restaurants and bars everywhere? Like
they're all strip malls. Malls.
It's the best place in Bucks County, but it's not the Sambone capital of Bucks County. Has got to be Levittown. Has to be.
Oh! I got you all wrong. You're talking about Bucks County.
The best place to hang out.
Yeah. Shout out! Brian Neary went to Curly's Creations today in Levittown, Bucks County. And he quickly put the Curly's Creations cheesesteak as maybe the number 2 cheesesteak on his cheesesteak list. Oh, I'd like to get into some top 3s here, Colin, in a second. But
we're on the show, buddy.
He came back quickly, took a couple pictures of the chicken fingers or the tenders, the wings, and just flat out was floored by the show that they put on. The Curly's is like an old school Checkers fast food restaurant. I told you this before, Colin. You got to call like 12 hours in advance just to get your order. They had this thing all mapped out. They ordered last night. They drove down today, got there at like 11:45, had this 5-10 minute window to pick up their cheesesteaks and wings, and they just hammered cheesesteaks and wings. And he came back, he reported back a couple hours later and said, Angelo's, Curly's, 1-2.
I love it. Wow, that's big and bold. Listen, folks, listen to this show. We're an interactive show, so you can call me out on my BS.
Neary, I'm gonna have to talk to Hey Neary. God damn it, my boy Hey Neary.
Yeah.
Top 3s. You want to get into that?
You want to go top 3 cheesesteaks?
Mick, you run the show, bud. Your show, buddy. I'm just here to hang out.
I'll go first. No, Drew, you go first. Top 3s. Top 3 cheesesteaks.
1A, Angelo's.
Yeah.
1B, Pork Shack, and then. It used to be Delisandro's at 3, but they've dropped off over the years. So now I'm going to have to slide Steve's in just because it's a totally different sandwich than, and they create the slab and the American Whiz, and that's my top 3.
Dude, I love Steve's. Drew, you just stole the words out of my mouth, so I'm going to let someone else go. That was my exact top 3.
No, so I'll jump in because Steve's is my number 1 for the life of me, man. From the time I'm 15 years old, throwing back in the day, we used to party at my buddy Marty's house. We had these Marty jams, party till 1:30 in the morning, and we drive to Steve's. Well, we shouldn't have drove to Steve's, but we went to Steve's anyway.
Don't do that, kids.
We were samboning Steve's.
That was a long time ago, kids.
There's a whole different world. Now there's Uber. Just take an Uber.
We used to do the whiz wit, and then as I got older, I went American sauce. But Steve's is my, oh, God. They're slipping. I hate to say it, but maybe it's just an inconsistency factor. Maybe it's COVID. Who knows? Angelo's 1. I'm with you, Drew. John's roast pork 2. And then that 3 is just kind of like come and go, come and go, come and go. 100%. Right now, I'll give it to Cafe Carmela in Northeast Philadelphia. The Don Cheech, Cafe Carmela, my number 3.
I'm gonna have to. I've been there so many times, but then you samboned it right before me, so I felt like I couldn't do it, and I had to go to like that B spot. I don't even remember the name of it because I'm like, damn it, Mick did a sambone today. I had that on my list.
Oh my God.
I don't have a list per se because I haven't been back in the game for so long. When I was at Temple, we bounced around at gyms. Like it was all late night, right? We're like, here we go. Because I ate, we're eating 6 days a week. I'm eating on campus 3 square meals. So, with football, 5 square meals at that point. But, it was such a different lifestyle. But I love bouncing around the city. Like just again, this is me just calling places out. Like when I played at Temple, right? We played at the Link. So after the game, we go to Xfinity Live. And then after that, we bounce to Chickies. Then after that, we hit the Palladium. So I love those 2 little cheesesteaks.
Shout out Palladium.
Palladium's awesome, right? So like we would just bounce like that. My kind of group, they knew with me. It's like, guys, we're hitting bars. Like you can hit the club and have a good time, but we're going to make our way to McGillen's on the 2nd floor singing till 2 a.m. somehow, some way after.
I had a house right next to McGillen's.
Oh,
man. Apartment.
They were the
like
heydays,
years. Man. One of the best bars ever.
Actually,
how about Max's, Colin? Isn't that right by Temple?
Yeah,
right,
but we never really got there for whatever reason. Really? I think isn't that more north?
Well, you kind of got a strap to go in the area. You be strapping. You know what I mean? Me and Kev samboned at one time together. I had to like protect him on the way out. He was all nervous.
Yeah. So honestly, we were just like getting food from Philly Style, which is like Temple's campus, which like the team would have catered for us, pizza and wings and hoagies. So, I was always bouncing around, but I love Palladium. I always destroyed the lobster cheesesteak or a cheesesteak from Chickies with no complaints, a couple beers. Like that was good. So, honestly, the last 2 I sambone. Last cheesesteaks at Sambone was the one in Seattle and the one in Cheech Cheesesteak here in Charlotte. I'm going to put the Seattle one over top of it. I think the Cheech Cheesesteak is good. The Seattle one was actually really good.
Dude, you are funny, man. You are funny. Like, I commend you, honestly. Dropping a Sambone right on Lumen Field, CenturyLink Field awesome. Or whatever. That was fucking awesome. But 9.5 for a cheesesteak in Seattle? What was going through your head?
I was starving. It was post-game action.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, though. I'll be honest with you. I have to get my grading scale right because I'm coming into your world. I don't know. It's all new to me. So I'm learning here. Like I need to go to Angelo's and go backwards. I think that's kind of what needs to happen. But I was shocked. I would never lie to you. If that cheesesteak was in Philly, it would make it. I was appalled. Now I went to their.
How was the bread? Was the bread like really? Can they make good bread out there? Because I know like the air and the water.
I have no idea. But the roll was good, and it was good enough to make it in a, tin foil for however long they made it ago. Right? They don't make it right there. It sat in a tin foil for. I don't know, probably 2 hours. So I was like shocked. It was the best post-game meal we've ever had. I've been in Carolina for 3 years. Best one. So whatever. People can roll their eyes at me, and I always give good reviews, but we only go to good places to eat. So
that's the whole point of Samboners, quest for the best.
Quest for the best. We got a ton of grief up for that. Like, we've been samboning for years now. And a lot of people always continue to tell us, where are all the bad reviews? Like,
I'm not going there.
Bad reviews. You think I'm going to fucking drive 45 minutes here, spend $20 on a shit cheesesteak just to entertain you? No, I'm quest for the best, dude. I'm looking for the best product. Now, unfortunately, Fried Uns moved down to South Carolina, and the quest for the best down there is fucking used guys. This guy's serving up provolone cheese and green peppers. I mean, give me a break already.
And they call it a Philly cheesesteak too.
Kev, what's your top 3? Is it down there? Or is it up here? Where the fuck are you anyway? You got palm trees in your garage?
So I told you my top 3. My top 3 are all there. There's the best cheesesteak here doesn't touch the top 20 in Philly, but it doesn't
touch the top 1,000.
Right?
They call it a by the way, I never knew this. People around the country call it a Philly, just a Philly.
I know.
And they call it a chicken Philly.
Like a female horse.
Correct.
Philly.
Ever seen the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but the Preakness.
Yeah.
The Preakness? Okay.
We remember going, not so much leaving.
Yeah, some good stories on that one.
Well, we can transition to that. I've done the Kentucky Derby. That's another
That's
one.
On the bucket list. That's on my bucket list one day.
Bring lots of cash, my friend.
You know, as they say, if they are advertising Philly cheesesteak, it's a no.
It's a no. I got Ed Foley, Philly legend, South Jersey legend, Temple football coach for 15 years. You think he had a couple of cheesesteaks and hoagies? Absolute legend, Foles. Played at Bucknell. Philly guy through and through. Coaching Carolina for the last couple of years. He just took a job in Nebraska with Coach Rule. And he's like, again, people asking, like, do I tweet these videos? Do I Instagram these videos? Do I send them to you? You could send them to the guys. You could do whatever you want. There's no rules of Sam Boner. So
that's right.
I got Foley sending me videos, Mick. We're telling this on air. Foles is going to he's the guy who did the cheesesteak review, got like 15,000 views on it. So
yep.
He's a big
So wait,
kid.
1 second. I want to go back to Mick. You mentioned it. We didn't talk about it much. The quest for the best thing, I think, has gotten a little bit lost, right? Like that was where this all started. And I don't know. And that's the thing. Like people used to bitch at us a lot about the grading system. But the idea month over month was we're going to find the best. That was just that was the beginning of the whole thing, was like a bunch of fat guys going around trying to find what the best sandwich in the city was. And 1 month it was roast pork, 1 month it was cheesesteaks, and it was go hit the best places. So you weren't getting 6s and 7s and 8s, and you're in Philadelphia looking for a cheesesteak. You're getting 9s. That's what you're getting. Yeah,
we weren't putting the top worst cheesesteaks, top worst hot roast pork. That's where all the lists came together, and we were grinding, Colin. I'll be honest with you, man. We were grinding. Drew and I caught up earlier, like looking back 2019, 2020. God, this sounds disgusting, but like we were reviewing anywhere from 12 to 15 play. It almost became a competition amongst us 6 Sam Boners.
That's because we're competitive in nature as
like
friends.
If we went out and hit a place, we was like, I'm going out tomorrow. I'm hitting a place. Like I'm going to show you up.
Better than what you did.
Oh yeah.
Just wait. Wait.
Exactly.
Just wait until the off season.
Tomorrow. MFers.
But we have the balls to go on Instagram at that point.
Just wait until the off season, boys. Just wait.
Yeah,
I can't. There's a lot to look forward to, and we're kind of putting the months together, and we'll talk about it on here, Mick. I think it's safe to say that we're kind of agreed that we should have unified months. Now, again, folks, this is Sam Boners. I'm new to this thing, but I know this. There's absolutely no rules. You could Sam Bone anything. That cigar, that drink. You could Sam Bone the smell of the Christmas tree. No one really gives a shit. But Mick's crushing his 4th Stella in 20 minutes. So my point is, with all this,
tis the season.
That is the #1 beer to drink with dinner, in my opinion, of a non-IPA. That if I had to rate we could do this. The beers to drink with dinner that aren't like the whatever. I think Stella is #1 for me. But
I like Stella too.
It's a great dinner beer.
I want to know is the Shuby going to come home to Sambone from Cape May one of these times, or is he just going to hang out? Is Shuby going to hang out in Cape May the whole time?
What are you talking about, Drew? Just home at Thanksgiving. He broke a record for 7 Sambones in 24 hours.
I crushed it.
I did.
And
marathon.
It was. I sprint marathons. It was ridiculous. So but no, I mean we bought a place in Annapolis, Maryland. That's where we live now, and we run our place in Cape May. So I get up there for a couple weeks in the summer, hang out. But I'll be back. Yeah. Long story short, we got to wait to see how this pans out here with our playoff picture, and then I'll know when I'll be back. But like I was saying, we're trying to unify some months here moving forward. It helps organize our kind of the following at Sam Boners from what we talked about. Again, I'm a spokesperson for it. I'm not an OG, right? I'm just talking. But talking for Mick here, I think we're both agreed that we're going to do months moving forward. They're going to they already have them, but Mick kind of announces that month. I don't know what the exact order is, but I know this it's going to make sense. January is going to be wings for playoff football. February is going to be cheesesteaks. You can't go wrong with that. You got the Super Bowl. It's going to be awesome.
March right there.
March, you got hoagies for Italian hoagies. April, you got burgers.
I'll tell you what, dude. This might sound silly, but this is going to take a lot of stress off of me.
Dude, it's easy. And then I think, listen, folks.
I am. I'm always
you've been fighting over this list for the last 3 weeks and how the list should go and what months. It's an all-out war on our text thread.
The wars that used to go on month over month. there'd be fun. We'd be screaming at each other over which month next month is going to be.
Yeah,
and it would be a full-out war.
1,000 text messages on it.
To me, it's all about a couple things, right? Where do the cheesesteaks fall? Now, again, folks, you can sambone a cheesesteak anytime. We're just keeping it for the people that are the grinders, how you can do it. Where do the wings fall? Well, it's got to be in football season, right? January, all those playoff games, it's got to be wings. It's got to be, I think.
I agree.
Or September to kick off 2 football season.
It's true. It's true. But we want to start off hot. I think wings would be great. Cheesesteaks, Super Bowl, wings, Super Bowl. That's a tough one. You can still do it. Again, the summer is where it's interesting. Barbecue in July makes sense.
Burgers,
hot dogs in August makes sense.
Hot dog month. I will say hot dog month last year, or this year, I should say, in July. Well, we announced burger and hot dog month, and then it quickly became hot dog month. And the reason I think, because it was so easy. Like, people were playing golf, hot dogs at the turn, hot dogs at the ballpark. Like, dude, Samboner Nation came shining through.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. A quick point I'm backing out. The fact that it's not solidified that hot dog month isn't in July when the hot dog eating contest is at Coney Island. That's all the need. That's all the proof you need.
Jack, you have every right to jump in and out of this show anytime you want, and you're absolutely right. I think hot dog month needs to be July.
Let me edit it. And we're not going to spend the whole show, people at home. I promise you, we're not going to be doing this the whole time. But it's just something I think I want to bring up, because I think it'd be cool to be unified with it, make plans with it. True, you got to be going to Mesquite Grill. God forbid I talk about Doylestown again around Mick. But Jesus Christ, you got to have to go to Mesquite Grill, right?
100%. Go to.
Yeah. That bar on the left there is like my favorite place.
Colin, I'm a half a mile from Union Jacks, and they're number 1. They're over Mesquite.
Meanwhile, Mick's number 1 is actually Mesquite Grill, and he's trying to say Union Jacks because he's fighting with you about how great Doylestown is. He knows it.
Hating on it.
Garlic butter,
you know what the funny part is?
Fast and you know it.
I'm going to get this guy down this summer to see. I can't even say the word, to see him.
Here we go.
And
here we go.
And I'll go to Seattle with him. I'll spend a day up there, Mick. I will spend a day. I will have a blast. We'll do the whole deal. We'll spend $12 a beer at OD. We'll have a great time. And then I will show you Cape May, a place you actually can drink on the water and go and get a $2 beer and then go have a killer freaking Italian hoagie for $4. So Cape May is like stuck in a weird time warp. So we'll have a good time, Mick. I don't want to talk about it anymore and bore our guests. Guys.
All right, real quick.
Cape May is like
Cape May is great. I love Cape May. I'm a Seattle guy through and through. Cape May is awesome, but it's not cheap either. I don't know where you're going.
You're at the mall. You're a shoebie on the mall. We're up and down the mall there.
Maybe that might be true, but not at the mall. I'm at the beachfront joint. It's a Rusty Nail or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's Congress Hall owns that, buddy.
Yeah, place is awesome. I don't think it's $2 beers though.
The Seaview Inn. That's the place we go. Well, I'll get you guys right. We don't want to bore our fans.
Yeah, I love Cape May, but I'm with Mick on Seattle.
Yeah, that's great. It's just a reunion of all the same people in the same neighborhood doing the same thing. No new, Seattle's the No New Friends Club and the $10.
By the way,
listen, I'm with Team Colin on this. I talk about getting a retirement home one day. It's going to probably be in Cape May. It's more like a shore town. It's a shore place where, like, you see surfboards. It's not like
Drew and Pat are big Ocean City, Maryland guys. Right?
Go back to Ocean City, Drew. He's Ocean City, New Jersey. Anyway, Mick, I real quick before we move off this short point thing, I listened to I don't know if it was last week or not, when you were talking about the dogs, and you gave Bubba the nod over Lou Dogs, and that upset me a little bit. I'll be honest with you.
That was a really tough one for me. I'm not first of all, I'm not.
I know you were on the spot. I could tell you were a little shaken.
I couldn't believe that Kyle threw that one on me. That was a curveball. Yeah, I didn't see it coming, and I respect both of those guys. I really do. And there's a couple other hot dog vendors on the island. I'm not a big hot dog guy, but I don't know, man.
Here's the worst thing that could have happened to me, boys, other than being hurt this year and being out. The worst thing that could have happened to me this year was getting a part of the halftime hot dog gang. Okay, so people don't know this, but it's the responsibility of the home team and away team locker rooms to meet in the equipment room, whoever manages them, to have hot dogs and spicy sausage available for the people that aren't playing in the games, the equipment managers, the back house people, and like some of the injured guys that are just chilling. So the team goes into halftime to debrief. We all go right into the equipment room and start slamming down some glizzies. I mean, it's an onslaught.
That's amazing.
It's like a kind of behind the scenes thing that people may not know about, and they're pre-wrapped, they're ready to go. So that's why the Mark Sanchez thing with the hot dog, they had one ready for them because they can go in the equipment room and take it out when Mark did the mustard.
So wait, what happens? What happens when you're at an away game and they don't have?
They have
hot
them.
Sausage ready for you?
They'll have a hot dog. They do. They always do. There's never been not a case. Like literally, it's a
never
thing.
ever once happened where you walked in and they said, "Fuck the away team, we're not getting hot dogs."
No, because there's an equipment manager that's responsible for that per the NFL. So they order all the food. It's a whole thing.
Per the NFL?
Oh, dude, it's like an unclosed thing. They're just saying everyone's a Samboner, man. Everyone has got a Samboner inside of them. So just think about this when you're at halftime this week, and Mick's going for his 25th Stella, and everyone's going for their 40th wing. There's NFL players Samboner in that locker room, and you don't know about it. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff from the league.
Oh my God!
I gotta go hang out with these equipment managers. It sounds like and start Samboner with these guys.
I'll tell you what. There's a guy I met in Cincinnati, and he's been in the room. I talked about it on my show. I was been hurt this year, so I'm healthy now, but I've been kind of inactive on practice squad, and I've been able to experience this stuff. Usually I'm dialed in on playing, and I don't. So I got to know equipment manager for the Bengals, and this guy's been there for 25 years. And he has all the players that are Hall of Famers and legends in the game sign the wall in the away team locker room. There's an equipment room in there. And back in the day, he's handing Mean Joe Green beers and giving Peyton Manning cases of beer. They would come in before the game and Peyton would give him $100 or whatever it was. And the guys would yo, give me a couple cases of beer for the O lineman on the way home. And then on the way home, all the bags, the equipment bags for the O lineman that you put your shoulder pads and helmet in would have a case of beer in the bottom of it. So the guys would have it for the plane. So,
oh my God,
just all those legendary stories, man. You came in there you get goosebumps, literally everybody's name on the wall, John Elway, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin, just legends of the game are on this wall. And I'm sitting in this chair, and this guy's just spilling all the stories to me. And we're eating hot dogs at halftime. I'm like, this is incredible. This is incredible. Awesome, I try to soak it all up, man. That's
amazing.
It is amazing.
Cool.
So, Mick, as we start to trend towards wrapping things up, is there anything else you want to cover? And there's definitely some things we want to talk about in the holidays here.
Oh, man. I could do this all night. You kidding me?
I know you could.
Wrap it up. I thought we were getting started.
Wake up, Paul. Wake up.
I'm good. We're 42 minutes in. I can push through. We could do a full hour. Mick, I want you to steer the ship, though. You know these boys. You know the beef. No pun intended. Talk about the food over the years.
No, I want to talk about what inspires you, Drew, right? Drew, for example, Drew, he's got this ebb and flow Samboner mentality, but when he is on his fucking Samboner game, every other day we're getting a video from Drew in his truck, and Drew's the greatest because he finds the hidden gems. Right, the Doc's Delis of the world, and you're doing a job in Upper Darby, Drew, and you find these places that they're not even on the internet. Nobody even knows about these joints. Explain Doc's Deli, Drew. Doc's Deli is probably serving a cheesesteak that has every right to be in some top 10 list, and nobody knows about it. And that is one of the beauties of Samboners, right? That quest for the best, going out there and just navigating, and Drew, you're blue collar, right? You got to go find the best.
That's why I'm all over the place all the time, Mick.
Right.
So I find myself in different areas of the city,
right?
And it's I really am in the mood for a cheesesteak, and with Samboners, it was oh, try this month. We're gonna do cutlets. So it's let me check out a place around here. And I'd ask
but Drew's always finding the places that nobody's even thinking about. And it's oh my God.
I was scared to go into Doc's when I first found Doc's. It was in this street, kind of ghetto-y, basement of a row home. Not even the upper floor of a row home, the basement. And I'm walking down. I'm dude, put the wallet in the front pocket, you know what I mean, type of deal. I'm I don't know. Let me walk through this place. And I walk in, and as soon as I walk in, Licio rolls right there, smacking my face. I'm okay. okay, they must know what they're doing. And I turn around and there's these two Irish dudes just cooking up cheesesteaks. Like, can I help you? Hey, man, take a seat at John, cheesesteak, white uns. And next thing you know, I'm like, dude, this is one of the greatest sandwiches. And now I talk to like Upper Darby guys on the job, and they're like, dude, Doc's is phenomenal. Like, that's where we go in our Bucks County. You know, that's their Bucks County.
And so that's another beautiful thing about Samboners, Colin, right? Like, you know, like we're not a cheesesteak page. We're not a hoagie page. We're not a hot roast pork page. We're a sandwich page. So even though Kev moves down to South Carolina, he's going to shine in barbecue month. He's going to shine in, well, we didn't do Mexican month yet, Kev. We'll get there maybe like 2025. But like he's going to shine in other categories.
Mexican sandwich. It's a Mexican
dude. That breakfast burrito you samboned the other day, Colin. That's got me thinking. Like, do we do a Mexi month? Like,
well, I'm just sick of people saying that I'm too nice on my reviews. Like, I'm getting pissed. Like, I was on a show. I was on my personal show, and we have a show, 2 Girls, 1 League, and it's a bunch of girls talking football, and they freaking kill it. It's awesome. It's at our media company. We have my show, Samboner shows, OG's, Breaking Bats, and a couple other shows. But I'm on my show, and I'm getting just held to the grills because they're asking me about the NFL playoff picture. The girls started asking me questions. So at the end, I said, what do you got for me? So they're like, who do you think? Who do you like? Who's overrated? I'm like, honestly, I like the whole NFC. Like, just to go football real quick. Like, I'm sick of getting grilled for my food and sick of getting grilled for my football takes. Because, again, it is my job. I could be on another team tomorrow. Literally, in a second, I'm gone. Like, so I'm not going to rip teams, but also fact. Like, I know Eagles fans don't want to hear this, but like Dallas has had a solid year. They won 10 games. They're not overrated. Like, they're not. They have really good players. I like their coach. They have a good team. The Eagles are by far, in my opinion, the #1 team in the NFC. Like, that's fact. It's not really debatable. The record shows it, right? Their team shows it. Hurts is a little hiccup. They're probably resting them. They need to even win. And people are freaking out in Philly because they're not going to have their perfect Christmas Eve deal. So to me, it's like, I don't know, any team that gets hot at the right time, that's the team that's going to win the Super Bowl. That always happens consistently. Yeah. So I'm sick. This is me, PSA, late night Colin, 10:02. I'm sick of people calling me about for football.
Oh, shit, 2 minutes past your bedtime.
Yeah, he's getting cranky. I can tell it.
And I'm sick of people saying, yo, bro,
drink your sleep medicine, Colin.
That's not a Philly. That's not a good cheesesteak, bro. Why would I give it a bad why would I? First off, I would be honest and say, hey, it's an 8.9. But I'm in Seattle. We just beat the Seahawks. I'm in the middle of the freaking field. And listen, people say the moment got the best of me. No, I'm becoming a professional Samboner. The moment did not get the best of me. I dialed in. I bit into that thing and almost finished it in 2 bites. And I was like, holy cow. And then I got on the bus and I took the red pepper relish or whatever it was, the spicy red pepper relish, and I put that on the other half, and it was even better. So to the haters out there, sorry.
But Colin, there's something to be said too. You know, you said this before. There's something to be said about where you are when you're eating it, right? Like after a big win, you're starving on the field. There's a little something different, right? Like you're at the beach. It's gonna be better, right? That's okay. I'm with you.
I'm jacked, dude. I'm going to Key West in February. I'm going right to freaking this place.
Irish Kevin's?
I've been there, but I'm not going to be samboning anything there other than a Guinness. But maybe a JMO. But I'm going to be I'm going right to Mr. Z's. That's the Philly place down there. It's Philly. It's through and through. The tile walls, you know, it's Philly. They ship the rolls down once a week. Like, it's unbelievable. And
I was there.
Yeah, Mr. Z's. And it's like a drippy cheesesteak. So it's going to be dripping down my arm, and we're going to do a whole review. The off season, so I'll have a good buzz going. Looking forward to it.
So, yeah, man, this obviously is not my interview, but I want to ask because I don't think this has ever been asked before, right? Colin, how did you get hooked up with Mick, and how did you become a Samboner? Because you keep saying that you're just a host, but bullshit, you're leading the charge here, right? Like you and Mick, dude. Me and Drew might be OGs, but you two have taken the reins and ran with it. And I don't know that anybody knows the story about how you got looped into the Samboners.
Well, I think, and I appreciate that. It means a lot from an OG.
It is a great question.
to make me feel, we call it in football OOU, one of us.
You don't need to be a shoebie in Samboners. You can be
all aboard, baby. All aboard.
So it's a great question. I think the original guy that got me into it actually was Sean Patton. Padster, baby. Because Pat and I have worked together for years. Me and Pads have been together, known each other for a while. So
one of the greatest human beings on the planet, by the way.
Character. He's a character. So yeah, Pads kind of got me into it, I think. And then I just started watching Mick and how he did his stuff and how you guys did your stuff. And I love the shtick. I love the funniness. I always wanted to do it. Like I had my own food account. It was like Food Drinks Football. And I was just like posting goofy food pics and like, you know, like again, Portnoy had a lot of effect on everything where you're going to review and videos. Like that guy is at a crazy effect on small business. People have no idea, like just unbelievable. But I think that's how I kind of got into it, Kev. And yeah, now it's like turned into like, well, we have the podcast and all these different things going on. All right, like what can we do to keep growing it? I got guys coming up to me, literally our assistant general manager came up to me the other day, Dan Morgan. I'll shout out Dan. Played with Miami, played here. I think he was in Buffalo. Guys are like a freaking Hurricanes legend. I think he may be in the Hall of Fame down there. And is like, dude, the food videos are incredible. The Samboners, what's a Samboner? Our owner's wife, she owns a team as well, came up to me and she's like, you're a foodie? I saw this thing, the Samboners. What is that? That's awesome. Like, so that's cool for me because I know how much that means to you guys. You know, like that's like what I really enjoy about this game. People always ask, and people always said that was the wrong way. Like you got to love it because you love the game and you love all the things but I love all the things that come with the game. I love playing the game. It's a kid's game. We're grown men playing it. It's incredible. It's an incredible thing for my family. It's great. But for me, it gets to bring a lot of joy to a lot of other people. If it's through me in some way, and I mean that really humbly, that's awesome. And like if I can do this and help bring the Samboners up by 2 followers, I'm cool with it. You know, if we could start a podcast and do it, because Mick's like, why the Samboners, man? Like, why are you doing this stuff? I'm like, well, it works for us at the media company. It works for you, and it's freaking fun, and we're all a bunch of Archbishop Wood guys. Like, why not? You kidding me? This is great. So I love it, man. It's a great, it's true. Like, it's like, this is what I always wanted to do. It was like create one yourself or, you know, join them. And I'm blessed to join them, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I got to tell you, I love it, right? Like that was for us. That was what it was always all about. It was like, dude, there's a ton of guys out there just like us that want to do this same shit. Go out, yuck it up, have a good time, talk about some Sambos and, you know, send it to your boys. Right. And that's what it was all about. And I think it definitely has gotten some serious legs thanks to Mick and thanks to both of you, really. Right. Well, but it's fun because that's what it's been all about.
Yeah, once you do one, folks listening,
you're hooked.
You're done.
Samboner bug is a real thing.
It's real, man. It's real.
And then, you know, they'll fade away, but they'll come back too.
Yeah, it could be just people that are, you know, hey, they're in Avalon and they when every time they're down there, they go to this hoagie place and it's like, again, it tastes better because you're in Avalon or whatever it may be, or you're in Tampa and Clearwater. We're going to get Mick down to spring training. We think like, hey man, people go down there every year. This is where we go eat. And someone wants to do a video, and they may not do a video again until next year. I'm gonna put Kev on the spot real quick though, and maybe we can wrap up the show this way. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Kev. It's Wild Card Month. Why don't you Sambone that cigar for us?
All right, I will actually. So it's an Alec Bradley Madura, Cabora or some shit, Madura something. Take a look. Take a puff. I've had about 25 puffs at this point, but it's a solid 8.3 on the Stogie scale.
All right.
Solid. Wait, by the way, the real star of the show here is this Oak and Eden bourbon. Never had it before. Sambone that. Well, all Sambone are drinks as we leave. What do you got, Kev? It's almost gone, but we'll take a look. Take the final sip. And I don't like a real like sharp bourbon. That's nice. That's a 9.1 on the bourbon.
I love it. I love it.
All right,
Wild Card Month's the greatest.
What do you got, Drew?
Little Basil Hayden, same thing. Last sip. You know, little ice it down.
For the soft Italians.
So smooth though. You gotta agree. I'd have to go 9.5 on the
Love
Basil
it.
Hayden.
And I think I got a good story about too with the liquor here as I'm just thinking about it and just thinking of good ways to wrap things up. So I just started dating my wife Sydney. We're down at the beach. They have a beautiful condo in the Destin, the Panama City area, a beautiful place. And just started dating my wife Sydney, and I'm a beer guy, right? Love beer. And her father and my father-in-law, he drinks Glenlivet, and he's like, you know, he's got a real drawn-out Southern accent like this. He's real Southern. He says, "How you doing, Betty? What are you thinking?" And I'm like, again, Mr. Dupree, good to see you again. You know, like we're third, fourth time, you know, meeting the in-laws. So I'm still now. I slap his ass and give him an elbow. You know,
Your wife's a Texan, though, right?
She's from Texas, and her family's from Louisiana, so they get that real Cajun, like strong. He's more like Mississippi, but yeah, they're in the South, hard South. Yeah. Texas is. Now everybody, it's like down there, man. There's people from all over, but we're like, all right, bud, what are you thinking? We're going into the beach. You need a drink before dinner. We're gonna call it a bridge drink before dinner. What are you thinking? I'm like, I'm just gonna grab a beer. Like, you know what do you think about a Glenlivet? I'm like, all right. So that's what the ice made me think about it. He would they have styrofoam cups down there, man, and they all have like LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Florida. Like they bring them into the restaurant, like. You want to talk about just OGs. Like imagine pouring yourself a drink in Seattle, walking right into a restaurant with it, putting it at the table, and just like ordering a beer and sipping on your Glenlivet and sipping on your beer. Like that's what they do. And no one says a word.
Oh, my God.
It's incredible.
They're the real OGs.
Yeah.
They are. And I'm like looking at him as we're going in the bar. I'm like, Fred, you going to pitch that? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, my bad. So my point to the story was he gets the styrofoam cup for me, fills it up to the top of the ice, fills it up to the top of the Glenlivet. It's a, you know, a full glass. I'm like, he's like, let's just keep the slower you drink it, the more watered down it gets. So meanwhile, I'm cross-eyed on the beach for sunset as a beer drinker. And I thought about Drew with the ice as a good story as you wrap up. Mick just got a fresh one. I'm going to Sambone a Som Sleep, folks. Promo code Colin. For 10% off. Seriously, get some sleep. We have a partnership with them at the podcast. I love this stuff. If you have sleep problems, there's nothing better. So
I got Samboner problems, Colin.
I can't help you with that. This would be the Viagra for sleeping. There's no Viagra for Samboner problems. Okay, that's called putting the heavy bag and going for a run.
That's right, baby.
Som Sleep, it's got like melatonin and a bunch of natural stuff in it that helps you go to bed, magnesium, stay asleep, get up and kick ass the next day. Promo code Colin, getsomsleep.com.
Take a look, take a chug.
Nice.
You're going to whack it?
Oh, yeah.
Cleaned it up. I love it. I like the sugar-free better, folks. Being honest, I had some different dreams on the non-sugar-free, so I stick with sugar-free. I mean, when it comes to sleep products on the Samboner scale, it's 9.9. It's a 10. Honestly, I've been taking it for years. It's like been a crucial part of me extending my career because it forced me to go to bed early instead of like fart around at night. So
how long until you're asleep from this moment?
Like you start feeling it about like 30 minutes in. It's very gradual. And then you're just out, man. It's great. So
wow. That was fun.
What do you got, Mick? What are you trying? Is this your 12th?
You know, I got quizzed or not. You asked me earlier on one of the episodes my go-to drink, and yeah, I'm an IPA guy. The IPAs seem to bloat me, and I do drink a lot of Miller Lights, but this is all I had tonight. So, like you said, the ideal dinner drink, the ideal holiday drink, in my opinion. Nice little Stella Artois. Take a look, take a sip.
Sponsored by Alcoholics.
Maybe one day they'll pick us up as a sponsor. It's an easy 9.5 on the Samboner scale. This episode has been one hell of a time.
you got the three Samboners drinking booze and Colin, the NFL guy, drinking sleep medicine.
Listen, man, I got to work tomorrow. My work day.
Well, that should be a lesson to all the young folks out there.
I would say, Colin, don't call it the off season. By the way, we got a lot of work cut out for us when you get done. Maybe clinching a little berth to the playoffs. Maybe catching a game at the Link. That would be fun.
Yep, we got to win out, boys. If we win out, we host a playoff game, which is really cool. It's been an up and down year. Lose your head coach, trade your best, couple of players, and here you are. So crazy year.
Good luck, man. Between Pat and the Rule Connection, I've become a closet Carolina fan.
Get the fuck out of here. You're a huge Panthers fan.
I know.
Give me a break.
Down there, man.
Garage. Don't believe a word he says, Drew.
Yeah.
We need all the fans we can get, folks. Last year, Eagles fans will like this. Then they'll be, Joey from Jenkintown, and I'm not going to say Doylestown. Mick will cancel the show. It's only the biggest town in the county, and there's a lot of places to eat and drink, but Mick doesn't think it's a good place to eat and drink, supposedly. So
kept me here 16 years, Colin. 16 years here. For a reason. It's the food and the booze.
True. Some of those pizza places all throughout Doylestown and the surrounding area have some of the best freaking pizza and hoagies ever. But Mick
can't deal with it.
But Mick doesn't know. Mick doesn't know the name. Mick doesn't know the name of it, and it's never Sambo. So it must not be good. Yeah, Mick will like the CBU in. The beers are $2, but
I still want to see these $2 beers one day. I do.
All game days, $2 draft. Miller Lite, Bud Light, Coors Lights.
Even for Shoobies.
Even for Shoobies, we'll let you in.
Nice.
Where was I going with the story before I went off in Doylestown? We played Philly last year in Carolina, and we had to go silent cadence. It was so loud. There's so many Eagles fans there. So
there you have it.
We'll take all the Panthers fans we can get. Kev, anything for you before we wrap up, buddy?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Panthers fan. I can respect the organization, but
thanks, Kev. It's okay,
just to be
man.
clear.
Thanks, Mick. Appreciate it.
Way to clear the air, Kev.
Drew, what do you got for us, man, as you're wrapping things up?
I want everybody to have a happy holidays. See you guys, most of you, New Year's. Maybe one time, Colin, we'll get you here New Year's back home. Retirement one day. And thanks for having me on, guys. It's cool. Keep
Mickey,
it up.
What do you got for us, Mickey?
I
Drew
nailed it on the head, man. Everybody keep on samboning. We're going to keep on samboning. Everybody has a great Christmas, great New Year. Continue to chime in, listen to the Samboners show. We got some really cool guests lined up after this one. And be safe, be healthy, be merry. Samboner out.
Yeah, guys, for me here, Colin and our kind of team here at Not For Long Media, the Samboner has been an awesome addition. It's great to have our first kind of OG show. We've had awesome shows. It'll be your first one listening. Tony Luke Jr., we got the grill guy coming up. I think we had Kyle Pagan. We've had just all these people on now. They all kind of run together.
Yeah.
But appreciate the Samboners being a part of Not For Long Media. Take a look, take a bite over this holiday season, man. You're with your families. Get the group involved. Get everybody involved. That's the number one thing. And I leave it on this note, as I lost one of my best friends the other day. On a sad note, hug your loved ones, man. Tell people how you feel about them. Tell them you love them. Have a great time. Enjoy each other, because, man, life's too short. It really is, man. So I appreciate you guys. Samboner out.
Brother.
Cheers, everybody.
Stay tuned for Pat's Christmas Carol special.